Iran's leadership has absolutely blasted the Trump administration for bombing several Iranian nuclear sites. In fact, the country's foreign minister has come out and said that the United States has begun what he calls a dangerous war, and that there would be, as he also says, everlasting consequences. Now, we are in the Iranian capital, in Tehran, and we've spoken to a lot of folks here on the street, and a lot of them say they are very angry at the United States. They voiced that anger to us and also absolutely ripped into President Trump.
They attacked us, she says. We were living our normal lives and they attacked us. If someone strikes the United States, would they not answer? Of course they would. We're not doing anything but defending ourselves. Iranian people are people of honor, and we will definitely give a strong response, this man says. We will stand strongly like we have been for the past 40 years. There is no one dirtier than Trump, he says. First he gives us 2 weeks' time, but then after 2 days strikes us. We do not have nuclear weapons, so why does he strike us? Such a guy only thinks about his own benefit. I support the supreme leader with my life, he says. I approve of him, really, because he's moving forward for the sake of our land.
So, as you can see, a lot of people saying that, if anything, this has strengthened their support for their leadership. All this, by the way, comes as a lot of folks are coming back to Tehran. A lot of shops are opening again after many people had left, fearing that there could be a big bombing campaign by the Israelis and by the Trump administration. Iran's leadership has warned the U.S. that Iran has many things at its disposal with which it could resist, as it puts it, the United States. One of the things, of course, that they keep talking about is the militias in the Middle Eastern region that are loyal to Iran. There's Iranian commanders who have said, look, next to almost every American military base in the region, there is a militia that is loyal to Iran, and that could cause trouble for the U.S. At the same time, Iran's leadership says it understands that right now it has entered into a phase of serious conflict with the United States.
I think President Trump made the right decision for America to attack Iran's nuclear weapons program, and I think we're on the verge of potentially seeing regime change in Iran as part of that. I think this is a huge change in the Middle East. It was a decisive action. It was the right thing to do. I thought somebody should do it for a long time, but better late than never.
Why do you think it is that President Trump did this now? Obviously, the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, has been pushing to do this for years, including when Trump was president the first time.
Right. Well, I think because of the launching of Iran's war against Israel on October the 7th in 2023, it was going to come down to this at some point anyway. This is Iran's effort to go after the little Satan, and the next target was the big Satan. So Israel really faces an existential threat from a nuclear Iran. But Iran is not just Israel's problem. Iran is the world's problem. It's particularly the U.S. problem, and we have now acted against this nuclear proliferation threat. It's clearly the right thing to do, and if Netanyahu is going in first, help persuade the president, so much the better.
President Trump came out in a statement after the attack and called on Iran to make peace, and also threatened that there would be an even tougher response if Iran fires back. What do you say?
I think this is complete bullying. You attack a country and then threaten it again with more attacks. I think this is a manifestation of systematic, institutionalized bullying at the global level.
How does this inflame tensions in the Middle East?
It is unprecedentedly dangerous because now everyone perceives this as a success for Benjamin Netanyahu in dragging the United States into his war. And I think the whole region is alarmed. We have very good relations with our neighbors, Islamic countries, Arab countries. They have been unified condemning this act of aggression by Israel and by the United States. No one knows what will happen next, but what is sure is that the responsibility for the consequences of this war must be borne by the United States and by its ally Israel.
Is this the end of diplomacy between the U.S. and Iran?
Diplomacy never ends. That's a rule, that's a principle for Iranians. We have never left the negotiating table. But now, I think we are witnessing a betrayal of diplomacy by the Trump administration.